I got some tape here, Renee.
Yeah, this is not going to work.
Right here. I got some tape.
I have tape too, it's just not sticking. I'm going to try that.
Do you want to just hang it right here?
Yeah, I just didn't know where to go. The tripod.
Yeah, I wouldn't even use one. I would just lay it right there.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
You hear me at all? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I would do this. I would just.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got tape you can put on there?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
First of all, once again, we have to put in perspective and in context why we're here. This is why we're here. This is why the chief spoke today. And this is why I'm speaking to you. His name is Jalen. And he's not a monster. He's my client. I'm emotional because of what I saw today. I've seen it 3 times and it doesn't get any easier. I'm sad that we began the presentation in precisely the way that the law would not allow. I want you to know that when I go to court for this family, the judge will look at me and he will say, "You are not allowed, counsel, to look at a shooting like an armchair quarterback. You're not allowed to look back on the shooting from the end of the story and give snapshots in time. I'm not allowed to do that in court." I'm disappointed I saw that today. They want to turn him into a masked monster with a gun, and we knew that. But I want to thank the chief for one thing he said. At the time he was shot, more than 90 or 60 or whatever the unbelievable number will be, he was unarmed. A couple days ago, a guy with my skin color held off police, killed a couple, and is in jail today. In a standoff with a long firearm called a rifle. And a black man today is going to be buried this week or next week when he leaves the morgue. And his name is Jalen. And Jalen was unarmed. Black guy in Kentucky? Nope. Black guy in Akron? Yep. And is that something that's very difficult for me to admit? Yes, it is difficult for me to admit. Because I didn't come here to inflame what I fear will be inflamed. I came here to say what our message is, and that is peace. If you can do anything for the family, please give peace, give dignity, and give justice a chance for Jalen. My clients are private people. Jalen was a private kid. He wasn't married. He wasn't a criminal. He obviously was in pain. He didn't deserve to die. By the way, my name is Bobby DiCello, and I represent Jalen Walker, and I have my team here with me. And my team will be speaking right after me. You're going to hear from Ken Abarno, and you're going to hear from Paige White, who will be key to our work on this case. And I want to thank all who have reached out to the family, all who have reached out to me. I want to thank each media outlet for doing your difficult work of figuring out which side of the story do you believe. I hope the video tells the full story, and I hope we remember that as Jalen ran across that parking lot, he was unarmed. I'll give closing remarks after my team speaks. So now, without saying more, I'll introduce Ken Abarno.
I just have such profound sadness for what we saw today. Each time I've watched the video, it's gotten worse for me. Every movement that I see, every shot that I heard, and every time that I see Jalen lying on the ground just gets more and more horrific. I'm going to look at my phone because I took some notes down while we were inside, and what we heard was that it was tough to see. It's a lot more than just tough to see. It's something that should never, ever have to be seen. We've heard of transparency, accountability, a commitment to openness, all in an effort to try and gain the trust of the citizens, and for a fair and unbiased review of the facts is what we heard of in the conference today. And what was very telling is what we heard Chief Milet say, that the most critical decision that a police officer will make in his or her career is to pull the trigger and then be able to explain why they did what they did, what specific threats were present, and to be able to account for every round that comes out of that gun. Those are my notes, and that's what I heard, and the video will tell us exactly what was said, but that's how I heard it. And I believe that's how everybody else heard it. The officers will need to account for every single action that they did. The Walker family is praying for peace. They are asking for peace. They are praying for accountability. We live in a society where we can never see this happen again. We need to get better. How do we get better? We're going to learn from this about how we can get better. And as my partner Bobby DiCello pointed out, we cannot villainize Jalen. This is a young man who just last Sunday was with his family and was with his grandmother and was helping put chairs out on the porch. His smile, who he was, how he interacted with his family, that's who Jalen was. And efforts to try and paint him in a different light, that's spin, that's protection. We're here for transparency. We are not here for spin. We are here for accountability. We are not here for protection. And we all personally hope that now that a week has gone by, perhaps one of those officers will make a statement or will give a statement to the investigators. I could not tell from the answers inside, but what I understood is that none of the officers have made formal statements yet. Now, we're not privy to the BCI investigation, but if that in fact is the case, that is troubling. That is very troubling. I want to ask for everybody's patience indeed as we work through this process. We are going to support the Walker family in every way, shape, or form. We'll answer questions that you may have after we're done speaking here today. There's a lot more questions than answers right now. Please remember Jalen Walker. Please remember him. I'm going to ask Paige White to also provide us with some words here today, too.
I'm heartbroken. And what we all just saw in that room is heartbreaking. What I'm here to say is that we are done dying like this, in this manner, with this fate. Nobody should ever suffer the fate that Jayland Walker did. Sunday morning, Jayland woke up in his bed, and 24 hours later, he was in a morgue. Jayland was shot more times than I can count. And that is beyond troubling. We are done dying like this. And change is coming. And how do we get there? We get there with peaceful organization, peaceful protest, and with honoring the beloved community that Jayland loved. Jayland Walker was a 25-year-old young man full of promise and gone far too soon. Jayland Walker loved his family and he loved Akron, Ohio. And so today, I know that we all have heavy hearts. As my partners have said, it's not troubling, it's beyond that. There are no words to describe what we just saw. But we are begging you. That family is begging you. Jayland is begging you to stay peaceful. We will get nowhere with violence and destruction, but we will with measured and calm dialogue. And so today, we are calling for peace. We are asking for you to give Jayland the dignity that he deserves by honoring his legacy and his community through peace, and we are demanding justice. As my colleagues have said, we thank the Akron Police Chief for his transparency and for the accountability that has been shown thus far. Make no mistake about it. We will get justice for Jayland Walker. We demand justice for Jayland Walker.
Bobby.
1 second. Again, on behalf of the Walker family, Pastor Robert DeJournette of the Church of God in Christ, and all who support this family, please, please be peaceful today. LeBron James is praying for this city according to his last tweet, and that's an important thing. The world is watching us. Please be peaceful. And with that, I'll take questions. Yes.
What was your reaction to the Chief's description of Jayland's movements just before the gunfire?
This presentation was different than the presentation we received. When we were in the church, and I'll say exactly what was said to me, the chief said at that time he did not see the movement that would have put these officers in fear. And when I began my remarks today, I said that it's troubling to take this armchair quarterback point of view. The way the law requires, indeed, the way we are all required to look at this is through the eyes of a reasonable police officer as it's happening. I ask you, as he's running away, what is reasonable? To gun him down? No, that's not reasonable.
Mr. Barnett, can you go further in explanation how you said it was troubling that we have not heard, or the officers have not given statements. Can you expand on that and why you feel it's troubling?
Absolutely. We have had a week go by. The freshest time for people to remember the most critical details about what happened is at the actual time that it happened. Witness statements are best taken just then. Witness statements are not best taken perhaps after someone has an opportunity, if in fact this happens, to watch the video frame by frame in slow motion and then remember the events afterwards. So in the work that I've done in over 30 years, the best, most accurate statement is one taken right then and there. You sit the person down and you have him write it out then and there. You don't let a week go by, because each day that goes by, memories can fade.
Bobby, you said that Jalen was obviously in pain. Can you tell us what you meant by that?
Well, Jalen had never broken the law a day in his life. No crimes of any kind. And what has happened to him about that time, that he would flee the scene, that he would act in the manner that he did in that way, would it be indicative of some distress, some fear, something that he was going through? I don't know. We're going to hopefully drill down and find that out. Yes?
The police chief wasn't willing to say that the number of shots fired was excessive, but I think that's why a lot of people are here and watching this case. Was it excessive?
It was absolutely excessive. The law requires to use force that is reasonable. 8 officers, or whatever the final number will be. You know, we've heard numbers as high as 95 shells on the ground. Right? You'll see, if you review this video over and over again, an officer drains his clip and then reloads. If 8 guys drain 11 rounds, that's 81 rounds, or 88 rounds, and then you've got 12, maybe 16 in the chamber, or in the guns themselves. So yes, this is absolutely unreasonable. Absolutely. Yes.
In the press conference, they did not actually show us anything of the moment of police attempting to pull him over. The body cam footage starts after that, and when I asked about it, they said there's no dash cam footage, there's no footage that they could show us that shows that moment. Do you have any idea why they attempted to pull him over in the first place?
It's our understanding, and again, I'm going off of what I was told by the chief on Thursday night. We were all there. It was an equipment violation and a possible traffic infraction involving speed. That was it. That was what started this, and how it got to this with a pursuit is beyond me. Yes.
What do you make of the wedding ring and the death of Jamisha Beasley a month before?
What do I make of what?
The wedding ring found in the car, allegedly found in the car, and then also the death of Jalen's fiance.
So Jalen, the question was, what do I make of the death of Jamisha, his girlfriend, a month before? We know that he was very saddened by that. We also have talked with the family that he was exhibiting no behavior towards them that would indicate he was capable of anything that would amount to what you've seen here, driving away from police, taking off his ring, that sort of thing. I also don't know if he had the ring on his finger. I don't know where that ring came from. I don't know whose ring that is right now. What I do know is there's a ring and a gun. Now, interestingly enough, also, the gun from BCI's point of view, I understand, was found in the back seat. So we have pictures of it in the front seat. And I want to also echo this. The car was driven by Jalen, and apparently there's a shot fired from it, right? We know the car is intact and has no bullet holes in it, and so we're interested to find out how this gunshot could have possibly been directed at an officer. I mean, as you're driving a vehicle. So if there was a gunshot, and we don't know that either. So we're very concerned about those allegations right now. Yes, and then I'll go to Jeff.
What does justice for Jalen look like? What do you see from the court?
Well, justice for Jalen looks like, first of all, tonight, and in the days that immediately follow on this American holiday, that this American who died is remembered peacefully, and that the struggle of his life begins with peaceful protest, and that those peaceful protests call for change. And, you know, that word is getting old, isn't it? I've too many times been at these and heard the word change, but we're going to be hopeful, and we're going to hope that there's an opportunity to get new policies in place, collaborate with the city leadership, push. Look, the city did something good here. We have to acknowledge it. They do have this video disclosure statute. It doesn't give us everything, but it gives us something to work with. And so we've got something to work with here. We're going to continue that dialogue. Justice for Jalen looks like this. Accountability and change in terms of the procedures and policies in place. Well, let me go to go ahead.
One of the questions that came out of the presentation from police today is that Mr. Walker was, according to police, wearing a ski mask when he allegedly jumped out of the car. What do we make of that? Is there an explanation for that at this point in the investigation?
At this point in this investigation, there is no explanation for that. The behavior is strange, there's no doubt. I want to add, though, that behavior is not lethal behavior. It's bizarre, sure. And the officers find bizarre occasions all the time. They're trained to encounter bizarre occasions. So we don't have an answer for that right now. Thank you. I'll go to you, and then I'll go back here. Yes.
Is there any truth to what has been reported that Jalen was pulled over 24 hours before, or there was an attempt made by the Franklin police to pull him over 24 hours before?
We understand that the night before there had been an attempt to stop him that resulted in Jalen leaving the area. We don't know more details than that, and we are embracing that fact because he went home to bed that night. On this night, he went to the morgue. So one department got it right, another department got it wrong. Yes?
The chief explained the medical care that was given to Jalen before the fire arrived and helped him in the ambulance. In previous releases of video and also involved shootings, they usually stop the videos at the point of deadly force, so we don't see anything afterwards. Have you seen what happened after all those fires, after all those gunshots were fired?
What you didn't see that I saw was, first of all, a body that was not blurred out. A body that was twitching and moving with every shot that landed as it was on the ground. The shots continued after he was on the ground. We saw that. It's there. It's real. As to the handcuffing of the body that comes next, we know that they then handcuff him and roll him on his back, and then they begin to apply some sort of attempt at life-saving measures, which after 60-plus wounds and 90-plus bullets makes for a hopeless cause. After that, he's taken into a police car, and we have not seen that video.
Did you say he was taken into a police car, or
they attempted? They attempted.
There was a
take him into a police car?
There was a consideration while EMS was on the way to put him into a police car. Ultimately, EMS arrived.
Consideration they were discussing it, or they actually?
No, they actually. He said it as well. They actually attempted to place him in the car. Their thought was maybe they can get him to a hospital sooner, as the chief said earlier today. But we don't have that video. We never saw that. Yes.
Bobby, can you talk about Jalen's state of mind and how he was feeling with the sudden death of his fiancée?
Well, we know that immediately after the death of his fiancée, he was sad, but he wasn't exhibiting any kind of behavior that scared the family, or he wasn't talking about things that were bizarre. He wasn't writing out journals or making veiled threats of any kind. He was acting in a normal manner. I mean, he was sad, but he was getting through it, and the family was just as surprised as I am today to talk about it. Knowing what's happened here is a big mystery for them. Yes?
Have you been able to determine if he was working, he was a DoorDash worker, was he working at the time of his death?
I don't think he was working at the precise time, but I don't know. I'd have to find that out. Anybody else? All right. Oh, yes, yes.
We do understand that he was possibly scrambled in the morning, helping her at her home. Do you know possibly where he may have been going before police attempted to trap him down?
We do not know where he was going at that point in time. We'll find that out eventually, but we do not know at this point in time.
Anything else on that? Anybody? All right. Thank you all.
Just give me a second.
Okay? Yes, like you're gonna make them home.
Yes, I do.
You monitor what I'm saying? So, okay.
Everybody, if you can, pay attention to her words. March slowly, smoothly, heel to toe, nice and slow.
Not yet.
Take
Not
your,
yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
My apologies, y'all. Don't.
Not you all. Stay there. Follow up. Fist up. Fist up. Follow up. Fist up. Fist up. Fist up. Fist up. When I start chanting, we will start walking. When I start chanting, we will start walking.
Okay. Okay. That means it's taken care of. Okay, I got you. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay. Loud and clear.
We are done dying. 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 We are done dying.
Watch out, I got the water cooler. From 2 weeks ago. Okay.
We are done dying. We are done dying. We are done dying. We are done dying.
Justice for Jalen. Justice for Jalen. Justice for Jalen. Justice for Jalen.
No
stand up and stick together and stop letting everything happen, just happen and get away with everything. We're sped up and we're gonna stand together.
What's the last week been like for you?
Heartbreaking. Justice for Jaylen Walker! Justice for Jaylen Walker! Heartbreaking. We want them fired with no pay. Fired with no pay. They need to be fired with no pay. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. Let Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. There's justice for Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. We tired, y'all. We tired. Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker. I'm fam. I'm not blood family, but I'm family. I've known them all my life. And it's very emotional. It's like deja vu, and every time you turn around, you're seeing it on TV, you're seeing it, but until it hits home, that's when it's so bad.
What's it like for you looking at that thing you've got?
I love him. I've known him since he was in his mother's belly. It's hard. It's hard.
What does it mean to you seeing the amount of people that are out here?
I'm happy because this is what we should be doing. Absolutely.
What's next?
Who knows? Same old, same old. We'll see what happens.
Can you say your name?
My name is Karen. Karen Ingram.
Can you spell that, Karen, so I can mess that up?
Karen Ingram. Ingram. Absolutely.
Up a little for that. There we go. That's nice.
call.
So we ain't stopping.
Police shot the boy. And if anybody needs to hear me, I'm just talking for me. You do what you want. But I ain't got nothing to say to the mayor or nobody. I want the police to know, hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops ain't got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops ain't got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops ain't got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops ain't got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops ain't got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops ain't got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. All of them. Say his name. Jalen Walker. 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 How you spell murderers? APD. How you spell murderers? APD. How you spell murderers? APD. No justice. These racists. No justice. These racists. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Okay, let me say something again, everybody. I'm Dr. Roderick Towns, and my group, not that we're any separate group at all, I don't want to cause any, nothing but harmony, nothing but love, but I ask people to come so we can talk directly to the police. I'm not really interested in going down and talking to council people. I'm not interested in even going down and talking to the mayor. I can see some of them in the building right now. And as far as I'm concerned, I want them to know face to face. They're the ones that shot the bullets off. They're the ones that murdered the boy. How do you spell murderer? APD. 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 And listen, they're looking at us, they're in there. I'm not going down there to the council people. That's not me. That's what my plan was. My plan was to be right here with the people and the police. How do you spell murderer? APD. 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 No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No, get off there. Don't even do that. That ain't what we're about. Everybody come off the fence. We're not going to do that. Jalen wouldn't want us to do that. It ain't going to happen. No justice. No peace. 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 No racism. Police. No justice. No peace. No racism. Police. How do you spell murderer? APD. 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 No justice. No peace. We have officers in the building preparing riot gear as we speak. Do not panic. We are not here to incite violence. We are here to speak against violence. We are tired of our kids being scared. We are tired of our brothers and our sisters dying. We are tired of not being able to play in the park. We are tired, and together we stand, or divided we fall. So when they come outside, you say, we want justice. And when do we want it? We want it right now. Because we stand with a God who will not let us fall. So everybody, put your fist up. Everybody, put your fist up. Say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. We want justice. We want justice. And we want it right now. We want it right now. I said we want justice. We want justice. And we want it right now. And we want it right now. Say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Say Black Lives Matter. killing.
Stop all the killing.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
We want justice.
We want justice.
And we want it right now.
We want it right now.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Mike.
Well, shotgun's still on.
But we know it's in your hands. And we want to represent you in the truest form and who you are. Because you're a God of grace. You're a God of love. You're a God of peace. And if we claim to know you, God, we want to line up with your will and line up with your word. So God, lead, guide, give wisdom. Help us to do what we need to do in order to impact change. Because you are a God of justice. And we thank you that you're a just God. We give you praise, glory, and honor. And we all say together, amen, amen. And I want to thank Akron. I want to thank everyone here on behalf of the Walker family, on behalf of Pam, Jada, the entire Walker family, the Addy family. We want to thank you. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support, your moral support. We want to thank all of our clergy members that are here, all the calls we've had. We want to thank our black elected officials. They are awesome. We have some awesome servants. We want to thank them. We want to just thank you all for what you're doing and what you're going to continue to do. We ask that we continue to honor Jalen's memory and his mother and sister's request to allow that the process to play itself out in a peaceful, dignified manner. Because that's what we're about. If anybody going cussing people out and trashing stuff, y'all not representing Jalen. Y'all not representing the Walker family. You're not representing who we stand for. Because we stand for Christ and we stand for what he did. And he met justice as well. Akron can show the whole nation how to effectively and impactfully protest and have rallies and can make a positive difference in bringing justice and accountability for what we consider excessive force by members of our Akron Police Department. Pam and Jada wants everyone to know that they are not seeking any fame or fortune. I was over talking to them the other day, and they want people to know, because you haven't seen them, you might not see them much. It's not that they don't care, but they're hurting right now. And we ask that you respect that. But they are with us, but they want everything done decently and in order. And thank you all for keeping that. Thank those even rallying the rally yesterday. It was peaceful. We thank you all for that, because that is unprecedented. We're on a national stage now, and we can show the world how to do this right and how to get the answers that we want and how to hold people accountable. So what's next? We know we have long days ahead, but we want it to be expedient. We want to pray that this be a top priority in everyone's book. What's next is that we have to keep the pressure on with the power of our voice and our influence. Changes in policies and protocols, that could be discussed now as the process continues to play itself out. So again, we want to thank you. I have the sister, the auntie, Sister Minnie. I want to give her a chance to address you all as well.
I'd like to thank all of you for being here, first of all. I thank you for peaceful protest and just protest. We don't want any riffraff. That ain't what we're about. We want everything to be right. We don't show credibility if we don't do it right. I want to thank all my white brothers and sisters out here, because we are all people, all of us. Nobody want to be put in this position. We never thought, when I woke up that morning, never would I ever thought I'd see my nephew's name on the screen. Never. See it all over the nation. At some point, this stuff has got to stop. But we got to do it the right way. We can't go just running off and acting a fool. We want to do this right, because if any of you out there don't like what's happening and love Jalen, then we're going to do it right, right? Okay. So I just ask you all to do things the right way, okay? For us. Thank you.
As I mentioned to the crowd on the other side, this isn't a photo op for us. This is real. That's real. That was hurt. And if we really are our brother's keeper, if we really are needing a village, it's going to take the whole village to make the change. I want you to know that this initiative, this problem, this shooting, this killing has national attention. As you can hear, they scared, we're going to do something. But what we're going to do is do what's right, okay? I want you to know that the Department of Justice, we're calling them, we're calling ACLU, we're calling on the, wait. And I thought somebody was going to be here from the Ohio Poverty Law Center. And if they're here, if they would come forward. Oh. Look. I'm on a roll. You want to say something?
Can everybody hear me? It's a little short and I'm a little tall, so I apologize about that. Thank you all for having me out here. My name is Tim Johnson. I'm just going to grab this. My name is Tim Johnson. I am a policy advocate with the Ohio Poverty Law Center. And a lot like Ms. Minnie, I didn't realize I was going to be here this weekend. I thought this weekend would be a time for us to enjoy a holiday, to come together with our friends, with our families. I don't know about you, but 2022 has been very hard on me. It's been hard on a lot of people, and it doesn't look like it's going to get easier anytime soon. And yet all of us find ourselves out here because once again, an unarmed black man, Jalen Walker, has been gunned down. It's a tragedy. It's awful. It seems like we can't even enjoy a holiday without there being tragedy that accompanies it. And while we join in the calls for justice and transparency, there's also another call we can make, because I am sure that folks have noticed that campaign signs have started going up in yards, and people have started knocking on doors, and ads have started running on television, asking everybody for their vote. Vote for me, and trust me with your vote so I can look after you. We need to be asking everybody running for office, what are you going to do about police accountability and reform? We should expect nothing less, and we shouldn't just expect it. Because as Frederick Douglass said, power concedes nothing without a demand. We should demand it. We should demand action from all of our elected officials. That includes here in Akron, but also statewide, so no one has to go through what Jayland Walker's family is going through right now. We need to know what our elected officials are going to do to make sure that traffic violations don't end in bloodshed. Every Ohioan deserves absolutely nothing less. So I call on all of you to keep the pressure on your elected officials. Do not let today's gathering be the last thing that you do. Continue to put pressure. We will continue to work with elected officials to bring about an Ohioan where every single African American feels safe in their own communities when they interact with the police. So once again, I thank Jayland Walker's family for allowing me to speak, as well as the Akron NAACP. Thank you so much for having us here.
If you saw our flyer, we put on there that the ACLU was going to be able to speak. And I just want to say I apologize that I did not confirm their presence, but they sent a statement that I'm going to read. Jayland Walker should still be alive today. We stand with Jayland's friends and family and the entire community of Akron in demanding justice and demanding answers. America has a long, tragic, and seemingly never-ending reality on young black men dying at the hands of police. The system will continue taking lives through police violence until we overhaul it entirely. There is no justice without peace. Until we address the systemic issues of racism, implicit bias, white supremacy, and white privilege in our criminal legal institutions, especially metropolitan police departments, we will not have peace. True justice means renewing our conviction to create a world where police do not have the opportunity to use violence to target black people. We echo Jayland's family and friends and call for peace. We hope that Black Lives Matter and Jayland Walker and all of us in this community will stand together. That's from the ACLU. So we have national people watching. We have them looking at what's going to happen in our police department. Change has to come. But I will tell you again, all the people up here, all the elected officials that are here, all of the individuals, they are committed to change. That's why they're going to have an opportunity to speak today on this stage. I'm going to turn it over to Veronica Sill, who is county council member, NAACP member, and not NAACP. Don't give them that narrative from us. We are the NAACP. Good afternoon. Justice for Jayland! Justice for Jayland! We agree to with you, and we will stop at nothing less than justice. Just want to take a moment before I call a few of our members up to speak to you and point out a couple of our members that are here today. The Honorable State Representative Amelia Sykes, the Honorable Senator Garner Sykes, the Honorable Councilwoman at Large Linda Omobian, our President of Twinsburg City School, Mark Curtis, our President of Akron Public Schools, Dr. N.J. Akbar, our President of Akron City Council, the Honorable Margot Somerville, and our President of the Ohio Black Legislative Caucus Foundation, the Honorable Barbara Sykes. So we're going to hear from the Honorable Amelia Sykes first, followed by President Margot Somerville, and then our President N.J. Akbar. Thank you all. Oh, I forgot.
serving us the way that we deserve to be protected and served. And I just want to make it very clear to every single person who is under the sound of my voice. My sincere condolences to Jalen Walker, who knew him, who came across him, who loved him, who convened with him. And first of all, I want every person in this space to clap, to make noise, to acknowledge the life that Jalen lived and recognize him in his life. We need to hear it. He is the reason we are here together. We need to recognize his life because his life matters. Not just in his family, but this community. Let me hear it for Jalen Walker. You have all of these people here who will refuse to allow your life and your unfortunate and tragic death be in vain because we are done dying. We are done dying.
Right.
And we are going to ensure.
Right.
Now, it's going to be me because I'll be on the front lines, but I cannot do it by myself. And I won't do it by myself because I'll come find all y'all. We got to do this together. And I'm going to do this with Rep. Zelensky. And I'm going to do this with MJ. I'm going to do this with the councilwoman. I'm going to get my dad up in there too because we are going to do it together. We are going to demand. We are going to demand that we are not going to see our sons and our daughters dead in the street anymore. If you are like me, you watched that video and were stunned. I couldn't move. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't talk. I couldn't say anything. But you know who else can't say anything either? Jalen. But now I'm going to use my voice. And you better use your voice too. Because we have people in positions who want to make sure that we do not have the liberty and the justice for all of us. It shouldn't be just us getting gunned down. It should be justice for all of us. And I assure you, you will see me. You will see me in the street. You will see me at work bringing the noise so that my nephew, my niece, your nieces and nephews, your kids, your sons and daughters do not have to experience the trauma we saw just a couple of hours ago. So, I'm going to ask y'all to do something for me. Y'all with me now? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to ask you to do. I was down there. This is not the last day we're going to meet. We should have stayed down there. This is not the last conversation I'm going to have with any of you. Because if we want the community that we deserve, we got to fight for it. And that means showing up at meetings. That means showing up at city council. Come see us at the state house. If you got to go to DC to talk to folks, remember we have